Yo, it's your Jordan. Welcome back to another reaction video. This one is about the military of the United States of America. We all know that their military is fucking crazy. Over here in the UK, our military is pretty dead compared to the US. I believe we only have like one nuclear submarine, whereas the US has like 600 nukes. They be beefing Russia heavy in terms of like, oh, I have the most nukes. But the thing is, like, when one of them nukes goes off somewhere else, the world's ended. The human race has not evolved. The reason why I say evolved is because they're saying we're evolving and getting more intelligent, but the thing is we're making AI work for us, which makes us dumb. Because we're not using this anymore. We're just letting the robots do it. Do you know what I mean? Woke Jord has just entered the chat. But yeah, like, we are a race set to self-destruction. Let's just hope it don't get to that. Let's get into the video. I want to find out what's going on over there in America, you know what I'm saying?
Want to fight America?
Yes.
5 reasons the US military
No,
will make you dead.
I'll tell you, come on. Fist forge.
The United States is the most formidable military power the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
Arguably, since the end of the Cold War, America has enjoyed a level of dominance unparalleled in history. Neither Rome nor the British Empire enjoyed such a level of superiority over rival powers. While the American military is not the largest on Earth, it is by far the best trained and best equipped force on the planet.
I'd say it's the most trained, and it's the most equipped, the most technological
planet, putting rivals like Russia and China to shame. But it took generations to develop America's military into the world-beating force it is today. And it wasn't until the end of the Civil War that the US fielded armies that could challenge European militaries on the battlefield. From then onwards, it took 2 world wars before the US military finally established itself as the most dominant force on Earth.
Those jets look fucking sick.
Here are 5 of all-time deadliest innovations in America's arsenal.
All right, let's see this.
Number 1, the Gatling gun.
I've seen this before. This is like on video games, isn't it?
First fielded during the American Civil War, which to this day is the deadliest war in US history with over 600,000 military dead, the Gatling gun was one of the first rapid-fire weapons in history. Consisting of multiple barrels rotating around a central axis,
I would not want to be on the end of that thing.
Invented by Richard Gatling, solved the problem of providing sustained fires for the first time in the gunpowder age. Initially, the US Army, due to the service's conservative nature, was reluctant to adopt Gatling's invention.
Yes, we love an ad. What the fuck is this? Car simulator.
After Gatling had improved on his initial 6-barrel design that fired 350 rounds per minute, the Army did eventually adopt the new weapon. It was first used in 1864 at the Battle of Petersburg in Virginia. After the end of the Civil War, the Army used a 10-barrel Gatling gun that could fire 400 rounds per minute during various conflicts with the Native American population in what are now the western states. The Maxim machine gun eventually replaced the Gatling gun, but the crude hand-driven weapon heralded what was to come. During the brutal trench warfare of World War I, untold thousands fell to machine gun fire.
The tracer rounds, you see that?
Number 2, the atomic bomb.
Yeah, we know about this.
The United States developed the atomic bomb during the height of the Second World War under a program called the Manhattan Project. The project kicked off in 1939 when the Advisory Committee on Uranium told President Franklin Roosevelt that the element would provide a possible...
Do you know what? I'm gonna get into a conspiracy theory about nukes right now, right? It's to do with like space and spirituality, right? So I saw a video of somebody who explained that when nukes go off, they have so much power, right, that the energy created is transferred to like other planets. Because what people don't know is the planets are connected by electromagnetic fields, right? Like past like tunnels, like passageways, all connected into each other, just like cells do, yeah. And as we've been testing and exploding these fucking nukes, other planets have been able to pick up on the energetic frequencies emitted from these, which is why this guy thinks that we're seeing so many alien appearances, like UFOs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's something to think about. It's interesting. It's mad interesting, man.
Source of bombs with a destructiveness vastly greater than anything now known. Work on the bomb went into overdrive.
Just like when you have a tin can with string and you ping that string, you're gonna feel it on the other end. That's basically the explanation of what happens when a nuke goes off.
After the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, when the United States formally entered World War II against Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Much of the urgency was driven by the belief that the Nazis were working on their own version of the bomb. The project eventually succeeded and yielded the two weapon designs that ultimately brought the Second World War to an end. On August 6, 1945, a lone B-29 bomber called Enola Gay, commanded by Colonel Paul Tibbets, destroyed the city of Hiroshima with a single 15-kiloton nuclear weapon called Little Boy. A few days later, a 21-kiloton yield weapon called Fat Man destroyed Nagasaki on August 9, 1945.
There's no need
Seeing
for
the
war,
writing
man.
on the wall, the Emperor of
I'm a man of
Japan
peace.
ordered an unconditional surrender. The world would never be the same with the dawn of the atomic era. Number 3. Precision-guided weapons. Since the 1970s, one of America's decisive advantages in war has been the ability to hit targets precisely. During most of history, war has basically been about throwing a huge volume of fire at a target with a small chance of
That
actually hitting
rocket
anything.
sent them fucking crates to...
The introduction of precision-guided weapons changed all that.
My god.
For example, when the 8th Air Force launched a massive air raid to knock out German ball-bearing plants in 1943, it launched around 400 B-17 bombers to hit the targets. Most of the bombs, dropped at appalling cost and meant an aircraft, didn't even come close to hitting their targets. The pattern has repeated itself over and over, and entire squadrons would be launched to hit a single target. More often than not, they wouldn't hit a thing. That all changed towards the end of the Vietnam War. In 1972, laser-guided bombs allowed U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy jets to hit targets precisely. Instead of dozens of jets trying to strike a single target in vain, one jet could hit multiple targets during a sortie. While in
I bet that guy in that boat was like... Bro, if you see a rocket coming towards you, you're fucked, mate. I'd just jump in the water, because you have more chance to survive, innit?
1972, there were only a handful of precision-guided weapons available. In 2015, almost all weapons dropped from American warplanes are precision-guided. Precision-guided weapons have given U.S. forces the edge for the past 40 years, but it's an advantage that is starting to slip as other nations develop their own equivalent weapons.
What a waste of missiles.
Number 4. Stealth.
Stealth. I like stealth, man. If I was to be a fighter or like something to do with the military, I would definitely be in the stealth department, 100%. Because even if I was like an on foot stealth person, I am tall, I'm slim, I'm agile, I'm fast, and I am a very quiet walker. I can creep up on you and you won't even know what's going on.
With the development of ever more capable Soviet surface-to-air weapons during the 1960s and 1970s, the United States Air Force had to come up with a solution to defeat the ever-increasing threat.
EVE Online
Hate
is a
ads.
vast universe.
I don't hate ads because, you know, some
The
people
answer
got to pay
was
bills.
stealth technology, which would reduce an aircraft's radar cross-section and infrared signature. Ironically, it was a Soviet scientist by the name of Pyotr Ufimtsev who first discovered the equations to develop a low-radar cross-section aircraft. Ufimtsev's work eventually came to the attention of Lockheed engineer Dennis Overholzer, who then developed the configuration for the first stealth aircraft, which he called the Hopeless Diamond. The Hopeless Diamond eventually evolved into the Lockheed F-117, the world's first operational stealth aircraft in
That looks
1981.
sick.
From that initial starting point, American stealth aircraft development took off in new directions. The B-2, F-22, F-35, and pretty much every other American stealth aircraft originates from those early efforts to defeat the Soviet air defense system. The net result today is the nearly unstoppable juggernaut that is the U.S. Air Force.
Russia and America just will never go to war like that though, because they'll just nuke each other straight away.
Number 5. Drones.
I want to talk about these. So, Biden, Joe Biden. I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected him to not attack any countries when he become president, because you know how, I don't know, how woke he was. But ended up bombing Syria with one of these the other day. Like, fucking hell. Every government is the same. Every president is the same. They're all controlled by the same person, fam. Woke Jordan in the building.
When Abe Karem first developed the NAT, which eventually evolved in the General Atomics MQ-1 Predator, he probably could not have imagined his invention would herald a revolution in the ways wars are fought. Instead of risking lives over the battlefield, American forces can fight remotely with these new systems. While initially considered a passing fad, the past 15 years have shown that unmanned aircraft are here to stay, and war will never be the same. The MQ-1 Predator, which was first introduced over the Balkans in 1990s, is a crewed aircraft. Its follow-on, the MQ-9C Reaper, is a little more sophisticated, but it's the start of something that will change warfare forever. Aircraft like the carrier-based Northrop Grumman X-47B are starting to show the true potentials of such machines. Indeed, aircraft without pilots might be the dominant weapon during the remaining decades of this century.
100%.
As recently as yesterday, Navy Secretary Ray Mabus told an audience that the U.S. Navy will never buy another manned strike fighter again after the F-35C. And if Mabus's vision comes to fruition, unmanned aircraft will give the U.S. unmatched capabilities well into the future.
Don't loads of countries have these though anyway? The thing is with these drones, they're so quiet and small, yet they can pack such a punch. Alright, that's it for this reaction video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, smash the subscribe button, share the video. If you want me to react to any specific videos, you know what to do. Leave it down below in the comments and I'll get that done for you in no time. get out my socials, you know, I got a link tree down below. If you want to get out my Instagram, you want to DM me for me to react to some stuff. Hey man, it's up to you. But anyway, it's been your boy, yeah, Jord, and take care of yourself, man.